Welcome to Creepy and Geeky. I'm your host, Robert, and today my daughter Katrina is back again to kick off my new series on the Final Destination franchise. But first, Donna and I are talking about all the latest stuff. How's it going, Donna?
Hey Robert, it's going pretty well. I'm so glad to hear that the Final Destination series is coming up because I get to be a guest on one of those and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had to sub in Katrina. Thankfully, she's able to do it. We haven't recorded yet, but we'll be recording soon. So we can get that shit. I couldn't like I it was kind of last minute. I'm bad about scheduling. I have mostly everybody for everything else. I got to reconfirm with somebody for one of the other ones,
hmm
but I got Katrina to sub in for this one because it was so last minute. I couldn't find anybody else.
I
So
tried to help, man. I put it out on Instagram. I was like, does anybody
no,
want to
I
talk
saw
about it?
that. Yeah. Well, and then somebody else, like the person I need to reconfirm with, they heard from somebody else. So somebody else like saw my thing and pushed it to somebody else. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Somebody I've never talked to before.
Oh wow,
So I'm
that's nice.
excited for that. Yeah. So yeah, I need to put it out there more, maybe like just to you know I again, I'm gonna have some new stuff in the new year and stuff. So hopefully, I'll have a lot more. I want to expand out. I love having the regulars on,
hmm
but it is nice to have somebody be able to sub in, like somebody new to sub in and maybe become a regular. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to hear who you have on too. I
yeah,
love listening to the people that you bring on there. So,
yeah.
um very much looking forward to that. How have you been otherwise?
I've been doing all right. Busy, busy, busy. We talked off air. My car situation is kind of figured out. Unfortunately, they decided to total the car.
Mm,
So we're getting the money back for that, which is going to help us move sooner than we had anticipated, which is good also. So there's a lot of good, but it's a lot of influx stuff right now.
yeah.
And so it's chaotic to say
Well,
the least.
it's
Um,
always going to be ebb and flow for us Gen
yeah,
Xers. You just got to keep
exactly.
swimming. That's all we can do. Just do
Yep.
what we can do. I feel the same way because with the health stuff that went on in October
Yeah.
and then getting back to work and still kind of dealing with it, but I'm just taking it one day at a time. So I'm glad to know
Yeah.
that at least, you've got things in motion. That's the important thing, that there are things in motion.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
Now, as I am always wanting to be honest with you, I literally only have a couple of things, but I know that you've gone to the movies, so thankfully
Yes,
you have more than I do.
I did go to the movies this last week, and then I have a couple other things, and then of course we have our comic book section to talk about.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let me go ahead and start off. I did go to the movies. I just went on Thursday night. I went and saw the new one by Yorgos Lanthimos, Begonia, with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. And that one was wild. Not in like the same vein as like Poor Things
Mhm.
was. And I still need to watch his earlier American movies. I again, every time I bring him up, I own them. I just
You
haven't
just don't
sat and
watch.
watched them yet. So, because you kind of got to be in the mood for
You
a
do have to
Lanthimos
be in
movie.
his,
So
yeah.
you got to get right into that frame of mind. And so this one is interesting. I mean, the big thing is that Jesse Plemons thinks that Emma Stone is an alien. And so he takes her hostage and wants her to take him to her mothership. That's kind of the gist of the whole thing.
Mhm.
And so there's some crazy stuff going on in there. Like it's just it feels in some ways more subdued than even like Kinds of Kindness was, and definitely Poor Things. Um but um but it's still out there, and it's based on a um Korean movie, if
Right,
I'm
Save
not
the Green Planet.
yeah,
I
Save
love
the
that
Green Planet.
movie.
Which I hear that it's pretty similar to. It does go in a couple of weird new directions, from what I understand. I've never
Mhm.
seen the original, the movie. You have, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but I enjoyed it. It definitely got 4 stars out of me. So it was definitely worth the watch.
I'm glad to hear
So
that it was. I mean, I knew it would
yeah,
be good because he's
yeah,
always good. But the
yeah,
Save the Green Planet is kind of one that's hard to explain to people because it literally has every genre of movie that could ever exist. I know the
right,
changes they made the CEO a woman, obviously with Emma Stone, as opposed to a man in the Korean version. Um,
right.
but I'm excited to see it just because I like the original so much, and I know this is going to be different, but he always brings his own touches and flourishes to it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
plus, I just love Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons working together. I hope they work together forever. I really do. I don't know what it is about that chemistry.
See, like for me, Jesse Plemons is just kind of there. Like I'm like I don't hate him. Like I don't hate anybody, but there's certain actors that I don't dig.
Hmm.
He's like he's fine. Like he's just kind of like he does a good job in what he does. I'm not gonna disparage that. I just don't I just don't dig on him super much. And but it I mean, but he does a good job, and so I'm fine with him. You know, he's
Yeah,
just kind of there. Emma Stone, on the other hand, I love her.
yeah,
She's awesome. And I love that, you know, obviously she's just Lanthimos's muse right
of
now because she's been
course.
in the last 4 of his movies.
Hmm.
So which is just crazy. But yeah, no, it was good. I think it's definitely worth a watch if you dig on his stuff. I think you know you probably enjoy it. So, um, but yeah, and then after that, I went and saw Shelby Oaks.
Oh,
Um,
how was that?
that was really good. I really enjoyed that one. That was it's an interesting mix of mockumentary and just regular narrative. It starts out as a mockumentary style, found footage type of thing.
Hmm.
This woman is talking about the disappearance of her sister, who was part of this group of um like YouTube paranormal investigators. And then it turns into a narrative of like um her discovering this other tape and then where it leads her along to trying to find her sister
Oh, wow.
in this abandoned town called Shelby Oaks. So but yeah, no, it's a lot of this one was really interesting. Apparently it was crowdfunded. I had heard about it being crowdfunded but afterward, so unfortunately I didn't get to crowdfund it. But on top of that, it also like Aaron Kuntz from the Scare Package movies,
Hmm.
and Mike Flanagan both co-produced this. Um, so like, and then like the people who do In Search of Darkness, like the In Search of Darkness documentaries, also like help produce it. Like I'm,
Oh, wow.
you know, so yeah, so it's got like a good pedigree of people involved in it, like on the like the production side, which just means they threw money at it, which is great. I mean, I'm sure that it was much more well done than would have been if it had just been crowdfunded. So yeah, so it was really good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't want to spoil anything, so um, definitely if you've watched the trailer and you're intrigued, definitely see it if you can in theaters. If not, watch it as soon as it comes out to streaming or VOD. So
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. I've heard a lot of buzz about that one, so I'm glad that you said it
yeah,
was good.
yeah. No, I was excited to see it once I knew it was coming out and saw the trailers for it. So I'm glad I got a chance to go see it. This week I'll be going and seeing the new Predator movie. So that'll be fun. I'm prepping for that by watching all the other Predator movies. So I've watched Predator 1 and 2 so far. I've got the next two are the Alien versus Predator movies. I know
Hmm.
they're not technically part of the main line, but I was like, I'll still watch them. So and then I've got to watch Predators, The Predator, then Prey, then Killer of Killers. So
Hmm.
there's a lot still. I still have 6 more movies to go. I got to
Oh my
fit those in.
gosh.
I got to fit those in sometime before Thursday, along with some other movies I got to watch in prep for a podcast I'm doing uh, this an episode I'm recording this week, and um, fitting in, Final Destination 1 and 2, to record for those.
You are gonna be
So it's a
burnt
lot
out.
of movies, yeah. And in between all that, I still want to try to keep catching up on Stranger Things, which I've been doing as well. So it's
Mhm.
like, a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, but those were the two movies I went and saw. So let's go ahead and start with you. What did you bring
I
this week?
only brought the one well, I said only one. I'm gonna bring up one trailer that I don't think you'll be into, and I shouldn't say that because I really don't know. There
Okay.
is a trailer out for a British, comedy called Feckham Hall, and it looks like I guess
I think I saw the trailer for that.
did you
It's
see
like
the trailer?
it's like a Downton Abbey like spoof.
Right, it's a Downton
Yeah.
Abbey spoof with, like, a little bit of Gosford Park because there is a murder that takes place and
Yeah.
looks kind of like if they made a parody of all of those British posh movies, but threw, like, airplane humor into that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know why no one's ever done a comedy in that vein before because
Yeah.
I really do like those don't ask why, but I do love the Downton Abbey and all of the upstairs, downstairs, and I get sucked in this so
I've
it's like
never seen
British
any of
soap
that
opera.
stuff. Yeah.
And so, that was one trailer. It's hilarious. Damian Lewis is in it. There are a lot of
I
key
did
players
see
in
that,
this.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I really am excited to see
It
that, but that's not the trailer I wanted to really talk about, but that's one I forgot about until just now. Well, go ahead. You were gonna say it looks
Oh, I was just saying it looks humorous. I'm not sure if it's going to be 100% something I would watch
it's
just
not
because
gonna be one because you don't
it's
watch any of
well,
those, so
I
it's
won't
not
get
gonna
any of the references so much, but
Right.
also just like that kind of humor. Um, s- Sometimes it got like okay, so when they did the airplane movie, obviously the airplane movies were fine.
Mhm.
The Naked Gun movies were good. But when they started doing all the date movie and after Scary Movie came out, then they started doing all those versions of things. It just kind of like I don't know, that whole spoof style thing kind of wore thin.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, there were too many they
um,
were churning them out, and none of them were funny. I mean, they may
yeah.
have had some funny points, but
So
overall, they
hopefully
weren't
this
funny.
one's funny. It did like the what I did see of it looked funny. So even with me not knowing like everything.
I just grew
Um,
up watching a lot of the British stuff, like all of the Agatha Christie murder mysteries with my mom. So seeing
yeah.
a lot of the things that they were doing, like they have like this inspector that takes his mustache off and he hangs it up on a
Right.
coat
Yeah.
rack. It's just so funny to me because I've
Yeah.
seen so many of these shows and
No, and that was like even those little bits were funny. Like I think it still can play to a broader audience who might not know
mhm.
everything that's going on. So, but yeah.
But the real trailer
Yes.
before I go off that I want to talk about, which is one I already know you saw, which is the Scream 7 trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
What are your
I
thoughts? Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to watch it. I know I'm going to.
I'm gonna
I
watch it, but I don't think I'm gonna go to watch
I
it.
have see, here's my thing. I have a list. So when I go watch movies, like I'm definitely not paying full price for it.
Mhm,
So they're definitely not getting a full ticket price for this from me. So I think I can go watch it. Look, Scream is important to me.
mhm.
Like the whole Scream franchise has been a part of my adulthood um since forever. And looking back, we were just looking back at Halloween pictures from all the years, and literally either me or my son or somebody else has worn a Scream costume, like a Ghostface costume, like throughout the years. Like it's just been one of those things that's been a part of our life. Um, and so it, as much as I don't like Spyglass Entertainment and what they
Mhm.
did, and there's parts of this trailer that just look kind of like they should have done this for number 5
Yeah.
and done this as like the final Sydney one and then moved on. Um, to like, and but they didn't. So this to me feels like I hope this is the final one that they do with Sydney. This feels like a swan song for Kevin Williamson because he's
Mhm.
writing and directing this. So I'm hoping that this will be a final piece for them, and that if they do choose to move on in the future, that they will leave her out of it and just move on. Like there's just, I think the Sydney thing is just tired.
Yeah, I
Um,
think there's so many things that they could do to keep this franchise so fresh,
Absolutely.
and
The
we keep
fans have said so many things about all these things, like a cult of Ghostface and all this
right.
other stuff that could have totally been a new direction for them
Mhm.
that would have been fantastic. But they keep narrowing down to this. And so the fact that, yeah, I know Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega aren't going to be in it, but Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown are both in it still.
Mhm.
So they are still connecting it. There's still a connection for everything. They've got as many of the old cast back as they can. The fact that the daughter's name is Tatum.
Tatum, right.
That was an interesting bit for me. I was like, okay, look, they're obviously, I don't love it, but I'm intrigued enough to go see it. So we'll see what happens. And I know they're bringing back like all kinds of people, hopefully just in dream sequences or something,
But
because
see, that's
Matthew
the
Lillard's back, Scott
y
Foley's back, like so many people
yeah,
are back.
that's the thing that is interesting. We got Skeet Ulrich back, we've got Matthew Lillard, we've got, would you say Scott Foley?
Scott Foley, yeah,
And it feels weird. David Arquette is gonna be in it, and it's like,
yeah.
okay, why are we doing the rehash of the ghost
This
talking to
should have
Sydney
literally
yet
been like
again?
number 5. Like
Yeah,
seriously, this should have been number 5 to like skip over, like to do 5 and 6, and now do it as a 7. I don't know. It's so, the
and now
choices they made are so bizarre. I hope they make sense, and I hope it's at least mildly interesting.
my son and I have a theory, and I will tell you that when we're not on the air
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of a particular, because of Scott Foley in particular, we think that there's
Okay.
something there. But like you, I'm gonna watch it because I mean, Scream has been a huge thing for
Yeah.
me growing in, my 20s and 30s. I really do love the franchise, but this one, it just came across more like, a bad Lifetime movie. You know what I mean? I
If yeah, it feels like they're spinning their wheels. And honestly, it feels like every other horror franchise where you get to this stage where you look at Freddy, you look at Jason, you look at Michael Myers, all of those characters spun their wheels at some
Mhm.
point. And I had hoped Ghostface, like the Scream franchise, would never do that, but it feels like they hit that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But I
so
totally agree with you. This should have been
yeah,
number 5 and end that whole chapter with Sydney, then bring on new fresh characters, and
exactly.
definitely the cult of Ghostface when the characters from Scream 5 talked about how they met in a Reddit board or whatever. I
Yeah.
think they said Deadit board or whatever.
Yeah.
It would make sense that there would be a cult of people talking about this, and then that would be even more
Well,
ominous to know that there are people all over that are doing this.
yeah,
Um,
the opening to Scream 6, where like that was all happening and everything. I was got so excited because I was
yeah.
just like, "Oh my God, this is
They're
finally
finally
happening."
doing it.
And then they didn't do it, and I was like, "Oh my God, this sucks." Like, and don't get me wrong, I still think 6 is okay. It's not great, but
Mhm,
it's okay. But like, I just want them to go in a different direction with it. And like, there's the seeds there. They've done so much that they have never picked up on that would be better. And then
mhm,
what
I
they keep
agree.
going back to, like, just let Sydney be Sydney, like, just let her live her life, like either kill her and be done with it, or just
Mhm,
let her live her life and let her be done with this crap. Like, who else in her life could still come back to haunt her, like like
and then we're also gonna get the trope of, possibly Gail. I don't see Gail getting killed, but, definitely she's gonna lose her husband. She's gonna lose somebody.
yeah,
So, I mean, why do we need to go there? I mean,
yeah.
she had a perfectly good life, just I don't know. I'm gonna watch it though. I
I know,
can't
I
not
know. That's
watch
the
it.
thing. That's the thing. That's the thing that sucks too. Is like they got me. They still got me because I'm just
Mhm,
like I'm still just enough of a fan of the franchise that I just can't. Like again, I've watched all the crappy ones of every other bad
mhm.
franchise, of every once good franchise, or what we assume is one good franchise. But like, yeah. So I'm there. but and I'm gonna try to like it as much as I can. But it's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I get it. People are calling for boycotts because of what they did to Melissa Barrera. I get it. I'm not giving them my full money. So, I mean, that's in, I guess in part they'll get some ticket value, but not a lot. So,
Mhm.
um, but I mean, because that's the thing. I mean, there's going to be enough people who don't know about all that stuff that's going on that are just going to go
They're
anyway
just
because
gonna
it's just a
go,
new
right.
Scream movie. So, you know, um, but yeah, I mean, it looks interesting enough for me to go, even if I am baffled by some of the choices they've made
I
so
mean,
far
just the
with it.
fact that they started out with Stu Macher's house, and I was like, "What, we doing this again? Like, this is an
Right?
Airbnb now? What the hell is
I
going on?"
Yeah. I mean, makes sense though. I mean, honestly, can you tell me that people wouldn't do that if they had the chance to
Oh,
like
no,
go
100%. Yeah.
like in today's like in the real world people would like wherever Ted Bundy lived or something like that if they rented that as B&B, stay at Ted Bundy's house, people would freaking do that.
It's tacky as
So
hell, but they definitely would do it.
they would 100% people would. So yeah, I mean people go to the hotels, the quote unquote haunted hotels, and go to like sleep in the rooms where people
Mhm.
died and shit. So I mean people already do that. It's not any different than that. So I mean, tacky, sure. Not something I would do, but I mean, people do it. So, and I'm not gonna yuck people's yum if that's what they want to do. It's weird, but you be you.
You go ahead and do you, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, that was the only other trailer I had. So,
All right.
I think what I wanted to ask you was, have you been watching It, Welcome to Derry, and what are your thoughts?
Yes. Well, I mean, the only one episode came out, and I did watch it. And the new episode will be on tonight, the night we're recording. Um, but yeah, that was really good. I was very surprised by that.
Mhm.
Um, it's basically, I mean, kind of takes on a lot of, obviously with Andy Machete directing it, um, and show and being one of the showrunners on the show that, he, brought a lot of that similar flavor that he brought to the It movies. So, yeah, but I liked it. Brutal.
It
I
was
don't want to
very
give,
brutal.
I don't want to give anything away,
No,
but
I'm definitely not.
definitely brutal. So
I
I'm
will.
very intrigued with the Dick Halloran stuff. We've only got a tease of it so far, but if you watch the trailer for the rest of the season after the
Mhm.
episode, it shows you a lot more. So
Yeah, I'm glad that we get to see him outside of the Overlook and see what kind of stuff
yeah,
he's been through in his life. Clearly, he's been through a lot.
yeah,
I will say for episode 2, they actually give you an intro, and the intro has a lot of really neat Easter
mm,
eggs, and it's got a very creepy old-timey song. It's just very disturbing, but
interesting.
yeah, it's definitely got the creep factor high. I'm super excited for it. The only thing that I have a mild problem with, and that's just because
Oh,
I'm a
they
black
did already do
person
this. They did already do the second episode. That's right. They did it on Halloween.
on
I forgot
Halloween,
about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. All right, sorry, go
So,
ahead.
yeah, my only issue, and it's not even a big issue, is that there's a lot of trauma for the black characters, but it's
Oh, okay.
1962, so
Yeah,
I can understand that that's gonna
yeah.
be something that they have to play into, but I just wish that wasn't the case. But other than
Yeah.
that, I'm really digging the show. The special effects are great. The kids that are in this are great. It's just I did not think I was gonna like the show at all. Like,
Oh,
I had
really?
this
That's
discussion.
funny.
No, yeah, when I had this discussion with you before, I was like, "Do we really need a It show?" And now that I'm watching it, I can't wait to see the next episode. I'm ready.
Yeah. No, yeah, I need to watch the newest episode. I totally forgot about that it was coming on
Yeah,
Halloween
anything
night.
that you thought was brutal in the
So,
first one, you're gonna be creeped out by the at least I was. I was totally creeped out by the second
okay.
one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. As soon as we're off, I'll probably watch it. So, gotta catch it. Gotta keep up on that. So, all right. Cool, cool. All right. Well, I only have one other trailer to talk about. They released a new trailer for the final season of Stranger Things, and to the tune of um, Queen's "Who Wants to Live Forever," which
Oh.
is one of my favorite. songs from the Highlander soundtrack.
That's my
Uh,
husband's favorite
uh,
song from that soundtrack. Are you kidding me? He loves that song. We did
uh,
watch this trailer, earlier today, and it was
yeah. Oh,
fantastic.
it's so good. Like it like I don't think it really shows you all that much from the
No.
previous things, but having that song in there, oh my God, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Like, because it's
Yeah.
just the song is so effective. You know, it's the final season.
It's the song.
Who,
We know that it's
who's
ending and
who's gonna
the
live,
stakes
who's
are
gonna
high.
die? Yeah, the
Yes,
stakes are really high, and I expect some deaths.
I
I
do
hope not,
too,
but
unfortunately.
yeah, but I'm gonna expect somebody to die. You know, at least one or two. You know, fingers crossed they all make it out. But you know, the fact that most of the main cast has survived this far is pretty crazy. So
Right, and we
especially
should know
with
not
what
to
they've
get
been up
attached
against.
to anybody, especially after Eddie and, Billy.
Yeah,
I didn't even expect Billy to die. I mean, he was
yeah,
an asshole, but I didn't expect him to die. So,
yeah.
yeah, this I agree with you. It
Oh,
gave me chills. It was really wonderful to see all the little bits that they were giving us. Like you said, they didn't give you too much, but it gave you enough to get really excited to see how this is going to unfold.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
only a couple more weeks now, thank goodness.
Yeah, yeah. No, Thanksgiving week is when it drops, so I'm excited for that. I gotta keep catching up. I'm like somewhere in the middle of season 2 right now on my rewatch, which has been fun because I've forgotten a lot. So it's always nice to go back and rewatch and get reacquainted with all the
Mhm.
story that had happened before. So good and bad. So, but yeah, that's all I have in terms of trailers and movie stuff. We can go ahead and move on to our comic book section. What did you bring me today?
So, you know how I am about anthology films, and so I
Hmm.
brought a anthology comic,
All right.
and it's called Deadbeats, and it's a musical horror
Interesting.
anthology. It's about, well, almost 200 pages, but it really doesn't seem like it. It's basically Tales from the Crypt if it was crossed with High Fidelity, and there's a
Okay.
lot of horror, there's a lot of comedy. We have a horror host who is an African American dreadlock lady, which is what caught my eye when I saw this book. And I was like, "Oh, okay, she looks like me." So so I started reading, and not all of the stories are great, but a lot of them are fantastic. I wish I could see this as a show for the really good ones. But it's just like if you like Tales from the Crypt or Vault of Horror, any of those kind of horror comics, this is definitely one that you'll like. So it's dead beats, but like beats like music. So um and it's actually old. I think it came out in 2019, but I just started reading it and I'm about over halfway through now. Um, yeah, it's really cute. I love it.
Hmm. I'll have to look into that because I hadn't heard of that. So, and what I'm looking up is not, I don't think I'm finding what you're talking about. So, all right.
I can always send you the link.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right. Um, oh, there you go. Deadbeats, a musical horror anthology. Yeah, I was bringing up something about like a 1920s like jazz thing, and I was like, I don't think that's the right
No.
thing. All right, cool. All right, definitely have to look into that. Yeah, once I did Deadbeats anthology, I found it. So, all right. Well, my comic book that I'm bringing today is the comic book series Lock and Key, um, uh, made by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez.
That is such a good series.
Oh my God. So I read this years ago, in like through the, I think it was through the library. I
Mhm.
got the trades and stuff and just thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so good, so much fun. And then I recently got it in one of the various humble bundles that I've gotten. So I've gotten the whole series through that. And then not too long ago, like I was trading in some movies, or I think it was movies, to our local Second and Charles, local-ish Second and Charles. And so, usually what I do then is I peruse
Mhm.
the graphic novel trade paperback section and try to see if there's anything there to buy. And there were a couple of the hardcovers of the series, and then I ended up having to buy the first two hardcovers through Amazon, which was fairly inexpensive
Right.
at the time. So I have the whole series in hardcover now, along with having the digital copies. But it's about this family that moves back into the after the death of the father. The mother and her three children move into this house that was in their was in the father's family. It's called Key House, and they discover that through exploration of this house and everything like that, there's these various keys, and when you use them to unlock certain doors, they do certain mystical things.
Hmm.
And it's there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in this. There's like I don't want to spoil anything because it's just that's the fantasticalness of it. It's just they're discovering what these keys do, and then there's this dark presence there also that starts to manipulate them and is trying to get out. And there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. That's a lot of fun. It's also been turned into a Netflix show that's pretty good too.
Oh,
I
I was
think
going to
this,
ask if you'd seen the show. I have not.
yeah, I've seen at least the first season. I need to go back and rewatch. It's got 3 seasons total. So I don't know if they were able to finish out the entire story with those 3 seasons. I hope so. But because you never know with Netflix, they like to cancel things.
Hmm.
Um, because they only did like one season of the Mark Miller show. I can't think of Jupiter's Legacy. Um, they did one season of that, and that was like a potential multi-season thing. And Netflix owns the rights to those things, all the Mark Miller books. So, um, so they got a ton of stuff that they could do. But Lock and Key, it's a fantastic comic. Gabriel Rodriguez's art is fantastic. It's like cartoony but also dark. Um, it's just it's hard to explain. You just need to read it because it's so good. It's
Hmm. It really is.
and Joe Hill, obviously the son of Stephen King, so you're getting you know and he's the author of Black Phone and lots of other spooky things. So he's definitely following in his dad's footsteps. Um, so very good stuff. Highly recommended. Lock and Key, Locke and Key. So, but that's all I got. Before we move on to the rest of the show, why don't you let everyone know what you've got on your show this week?
So I decided I already had my Blacktober series in October. So for November, I am just doing a month of schlocky horror movies because I don't think I've ever talked about any schlocky horror movies. So
All right.
I don't know what the first one's going to be, but we're talking Killer Clowns from Outer Space or Frankenhooker, possibly Eight-Legged Freaks, Chopping Mall. I don't know who's going to be first, but somebody's going to be on the radar. My son said Eight-Legged Freaks wasn't schlocky enough, and I was like, no, it's schlocky enough. That movie is
That's
ridiculous.
funny.
Um,
I've already covered both Killer Clowns and pretty sure Chopping Mall also on
yeah,
my
Chopping
show.
Mall was a
So
classic. I love that movie so much. It's ridiculous how much I love that movie. But but yeah, so it's just gonna be a schlock fest for November.
that's cool. Let's see. Oops. I thought
Did
I
I
had
lose you?
that. No, I'm here.
Okay.
I was looking at, oh my God. Okay. I was looking it up on my list of episodes, seeing if I had done, yeah, I did Chopping Mall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did that with Phantom of the Mall. That was a double feature episode.
It's a good one.
so so yeah, I've done some schlock on my show. So uh I did Killer Clowns from Outer Space with the stuff. So that was a very early episode too. So
Oh
if you guys want
wow.
to, yeah. So if you guys want to hear that episode, definitely go back and check out that one. All right. Um, that's all I got. Stay tuned for this first episode in the Final Destination series. Katrina and I are talking about it. She remembers bits and pieces of it, and she's probably seen it like years ago. But we were watching part of it the other night, and she was just like, I don't remember any of this. And then she got to a part she did kind of remember. So it should be a fun conversation talking to her about that. So kind of a reintroduction to the movie. So
Right.
because she did recently go with me to go see Bloodlines, um, so she is familiar with the series, and I know that she went and saw. I think we saw number 4 at the movies when it came out. So because that one was in 3D. Um, so yeah. um, but yeah, so it should be a fun conversation. So stay tuned for that. And Donna, until next week, stay creepy. On today's episode, my daughter Katrina is back already to talk about the first Final Destination movie. Welcome back to the show, Katrina.
Thank you.
Yeah. You are, a last minute substitution. I couldn't get anybody else in time for this. And as it is, we're recording kind of late. But, this will come out on the regular time. But it was a good chance to get you kind of refamiliarized with the Final Destination, at least this first movie. Because I know you've seen a few here and there, but even when watching this, you said that you didn't remember a lot of it. You kind
Yeah.
of just remembered the death scenes.
Yeah, but
But
I didn't even remember all of them. I think I only remembered two at most,
yeah,
two or three.
okay, all right. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. What did you think of this movie upon this current watch?
I I thought that it like at, comparing it to the last one that we watched, like the most
The
recent
mo
one,
Yeah,
Bloodlines,
yeah,
um, I feel like it set up a really strong foundation for a series to be made.
right,
And that was probably their intention. Um, or at least even if it wasn't their intention to create a series off of it, they left it open enough where they could do something like that. And so
right.
I think it was smart to do things like that. It's kind of like what series like directors do when they make shows is they kind of leave some stuff open-ended because they don't know if they'll get picked up for another season, but they
Right.
close it off just enough to give some people closure. Um and so I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. Um like as fun as a movie about people dying can be. Um I thought that like the editing for the stuff was really interesting. Like with the like seatbelt in the car, I thought the editing was interesting for that. And then with the bus in the window in the one scene,
Right.
I thought the editing was really good. And I don't remember when this movie came out, but
I believe it was 2000. Could be wrong. It could have
okay.
been it's like 99 or 2000. I
Okay.
believe it was 2000 though. Let me look real quick. Um, but yeah, I mean it's a 25-year-old movie
Yeah.
at the most. Um, let's see. Yeah, 2000. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it also like just like stands the test of time. I don't think anything is very like outdated in any way. Um like some horror movies will have like outdated like like storylines or things like that.
Right.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but like just some movies do feel dated.
Right. Yeah.
But this movie didn't like this movie could happen today other than the fact that they don't have cell phones and like that kind of thing. Like
Right.
I think that's the only thing that could date this movie, but I think all in all it was a fun watch and I enjoyed it because I like the Final Destination series. I haven't watched all the movies, but I like you guys have like
Yeah.
you guys as in you and mom.
Right.
But um I don't know, I thought it was good. I want to watch the other ones.
Yeah, because then afterward I showed you the trailers for all of the other
Yeah,
ones. So
yeah.
just give you a taste of
Because
what the
I
rest of
know
them
I
are.
know some death scenes from like literally every single one. And so it's
Right.
like just from like being on the internet or from having you watch them in the living room and I like passing by or whatever. So
Right. Well, and I mean, you used to kind of watch stuff like that once in a while. You weren't as big into
yeah,
horror when you were a kid, so
yeah,
you definitely uh, stayed away from that
yeah.
as much as possible at the time. But yeah, I think no, I agree with you. I think it definitely for a movie set in 2000, it's it fairly stands the test of time that it's at least you know that most of the technology and at least a lot of the other stuff that's going on in it is not much has changed in 25 years. So at least with that, like you said, except for like cell phones, like cell phone, and even then cell phones did exist, they just weren't as common as they are now.
Yeah.
And so because I mean I had cell phones in 2000.
Yeah.
um
I mean like the smartphone is what I
yeah,
meant.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like because yeah. I don't know
Well,
if
and
there's any
again,
particular moments where they would need to use a smartphone, but it was like some and this was pre 9/11, so this movie feels dated in that way too
yeah, yeah,
because some of the scenes where they were in the airport, I was like, "Whoa." And then I was like, "Oh wait, this is probably before 9/11." So I was like, "Okay,
yeah,
this makes sense for like whatever TSA like stuff didn't exist back then." And so
right,
like
right, yeah,
I've only ever grown up in a world post 9/11. So
yeah,
like being like like in the movie Love Actually, like he is and in Friends too, like they just
yeah,
run to the gate and I'm like, that's crazy.
yeah, that's how
Because
it used to be.
you
We
have to
used to
meet
be.
people at baggage claim now.
Yeah, yeah, no, we used to meet people at the gate. You could sit outside the gate and wait for them to come off the plane. Yeah.
Like
No,
that's so
it's crazy. Yeah.
as somebody who's only grown up post 9/11, that is so sketchy. Like like ugh, that freaked
Yeah,
me
I
out.
mean, but I mean, to be fair, I mean, there wasn't a lot of that
There
kind of
wasn't a
stuff that
reason.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but but yeah, it's definitely times have changed. But yeah, so
Yeah.
there's definitely in that sense, yes, you can tell times have changed, but
Hmm.
outside of that, really, there's you know not too much has changed in that sense.
Yeah. Like I
Um,
feel like this movie could have come out like this year and still done well,
I
like in that
mean,
way.
and technically there was a
Yeah. Yeah.
there
Yeah,
was one that
exactly.
came out and did do well. So I mean, and that's kind of why I'm doing this series now is there's a new one and it seems well timed for talking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I mean, this was 2000, so I was 26 when this came out.
You're
Um,
old.
I am old. Um, and so, this was a crazy movie when it came out. It was a fairly decent hit as far as horror movies go. And it hit the the zeitgeist just really well. Everybody was
Hmm.
talking about it, everybody loved it. You know, having something in horror that was different than a slasher, like or whatever, because
Yeah.
this is the post Scream era, so
Hmm.
we were getting all kinds of the post Scream slashers. So this was different. This was unique in its way because it was something else, and I
It was
liked,
more paranormal than anything.
yeah, and I liked that it was like, and it didn't, and even then, even in this one, they did have some complicated death
Yeah.
sequences,
I
but
honestly
not.
like
Yeah.
would compare this one more closely to like Saw for some reason. Like in the like same vein where it's like these people are being put into perilous situations and you're like kind of like I don't know, it's like it's a different kind of take on like horror where people are
Yeah.
dying or whatever.
Well, if and
So
when you watch the other ones, you'll see just they kind of get more complicated as they go along. Sometimes good, sometimes bad.
yeah.
Sometimes they have their own little twists in them, like, oh, is that what's gonna kill? Oh no, that's not what kills him. This other
Yeah.
thing kills
Well,
him.
they did that in
You
the
know,
recent one where
true,
like
true.
yeah.
So I mean, yeah, yeah. So you saw that in the recent one, how they were kind of
Hmm.
twisting it and everything. So, that's how weird and twisty they got. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's whereas this one sticks to that formula and you know sets up all the pieces for it to
Hmm.
happen, without too many twists, for it to go awry or whatever, or to set the audience on edge, like think, oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be the thing that gets them. Oh no, wait, that's not the thing, it's this other thing.
Yeah.
Which I think I like more is just that twistiness of
The
trying to,
redirection and stuff.
yeah, of trying to mess with the audience, because it's a lot more fun to like get kind of get played by it, which
Yeah.
makes the filmmakers be more, um uh like,
Creative.
yeah, creative. Thank you. I was like, what is the dang word? Be more creative in what they do in terms of trying to figure out these little death things. And I don't disagree with you that it has a very Saw kind of escape room vibe.
Yeah.
Where there's lots of things going on, and
There's
you
like at a
kind of,
certain point there's nothing they can do to get out of it. It's like
yeah,
they're stuck in it. And I think that's why I'm like comparing it to that is because it definitely feels in some way where it's like you want to root for them to live, but
right.
at the end of the day that they're not. And so
Well,
that's the
and
same thing
this,
with some of the Saw movies is that you're watching
yeah,
them, you're rooting for them, you're getting attached to them, but at the end of the day, like especially with like I think it's like the second one or the third one of like Saw movie where they're in the house and
yeah,
with the like needle pit and stuff like
that's in
that.
the second one. Yeah,
Okay, that's the second one. So it's
yeah,
it's kind of in that same thing where there's a group of people and they're all kind of like dealing with this or whatever, but there's nothing they can do. It is set up for them already.
yeah. Well,
Like
and
that,
that's exactly what's happening in this movie. This movie is
yeah,
full on, like, they are cheating death. They cheated death once. He's coming for them
yeah,
again. They can, if they figure out the design, they can keep doing it,
yeah,
but they're going to have to keep doing it. And
yeah,
that's what they discover. It's just that, sure, we can cheat it, but well, eventually it's going to come back around and get us
yep,
again. And that's what they discover. And as much as they try, and you see this in the later movies too, is no matter how much they try to stop it, it continues to come after them.
yeah.
So, it's frustrating for sure. But
Um, like I think the only critique I would have for this movie is I personally didn't really like the main actor's acting.
Devon
Um,
Sawa.
yeah, I didn't like his acting that much. I thought, I don't know, some of I felt like while watching it, I could tell that he was acting and I didn't like that. Like, because like
So,
usually, because I'm the type of person who will watch a movie and just be fine watching a movie. And like I will rate anything high enough if I'm entertained by it, if I laugh, I cry, I'm engaged, whatever.
right.
But if I'm a very low maintenance movie watcher.
Right, right,
So then if I can see that you're acting and like I can see you more as an actor than the character, there's something wrong.
right.
Because even for like a high maintenance watcher, they're going to be able to see that right away. And so if I'm picking up on that,
I mean, I would say that, like, for me, I wasn't bothered by his performance. I don't think it's 100% a great performance, but I think it's passable enough and entertaining enough.
I
And
think it's fine. I was just
yeah.
like there were certain points in the film where I was just like, man, he is just trying his hardest. And I like
Well, and I
I don't
think
know.
that,
I think
um
the female lead was better,
Allie Larder,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think she was better for that.
Well, and I think that Devon Sawa was potentially already struggling at this time. He's been very open about the fact that he started struggling with drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Um, and so
Which actor in the
um,
2000s didn't?
yeah, but he like, he kind of tanked his career with it there for that little while. Because in the
Yeah.
beginning, like he started out as like a heartthrob in like 1995. He was like a teen heartthrob. He was in all the teen magazines, and all the girls had his pictures on their walls and stuff like that. He was competing against, a couple of the other heartthrob, the late 90s, mid 90s heartthrob kids, And so, by this point, he was trying to do movies that were more adult, and he was also just, because he was that kid and everything like that, the fame like got to him, and he partied a little too hard. So maybe
Hmm.
this was the start of that, because I know that they didn't bring him back for the second movie because of that. um uh from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that was one of the reasons why they didn't bring him back. Because the next movie I believe was in, let's see, was in 2003, so 3 years later, and already, yeah, for sure he was, um, you know, already really heavily into the drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, was not doing well. And I think he even moved back to Canada from where he's from, and like it was a whole big old thing. I've heard him talk about it. Let's see. Um, yeah, so it says that, uh, it says that it was a contract dispute, blah blah blah. But then it was also, somebody else said it wasn't that, but it had everything to do with the narrative. Um, so it's all a bunch of mixed stuff. I think he has said that he didn't come back because of that. I could be wrong. It was something I read or heard him say. But so I mean, he might have been struggling already at that point.
Hmm.
Um, but I know that for most people didn't have a problem with his performance or anything like that. Not that I've ever heard of. Um, and that's not to take away from you having a problem with it. Um, I think generally speaking, most people in the cast are pretty good. Devon Sawa was well known at the time. Ali Larter, I think, was fairly well known at the time. This wasn't like her first movie. She'd been in other stuff. Kerr Smith, the guy that plays Carter, he'd been on, I think, I want to say, yeah, he was on Dawson's Creek around that time, so he was well known for that. Um, and of course, Sean William Scott, he had already been in, at least the first American Pie movie, so they
Mm.
were all fairly well known. Um, let's see, yeah, she'd already been in. Ali Larter had been in Varsity Blues the year before, so
Mm.
that was her debut. Um, and then yeah, she'd been in some other stuff, but yeah, it's so I mean, for the most part, it like the the cast was fairly well known, for like like in the
Yeah.
teen scene. Um, and so it wasn't so it was really good. It was fairly good casting, a really good group. And I don't know. I think overall it did well. Um, I know that, again, back then it obviously garnered a sequel a few years later. Um, and just overall it was just, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I've always been a big fan of this series as a whole, and I think the first movie does a good job of, like you said, kind of setting everything up, setting a lot of ground rules that they follow to the most part. Sometimes they deviate here and there, but because that's kind of what happens after a while. A series goes, okay, how can we make things slightly different to make it more interesting than just, oh, a bunch of kids are going to get killed again.
Yeah.
so So yeah, so I don't know. I think overall it was well done. I enjoy it. It's a fun movie. Um,
Yeah.
but
And I
you know,
think yeah.
go ahead.
There was just like I think when we were watching it, there was one moment where I pointed out something that you hadn't seen before. And I don't know how many times you had watched the this movie
Right.
like
I can't
before
remember what you
this.
pointed out. Yeah.
But after the car on the train tracks, you see I forgot his character's name, but the guy who's stuck in the car,
Oh yeah,
he like
Carter.
peed his
Yeah.
pants. Yeah, he peed his
Yeah,
pants.
yeah.
And so you didn't notice that before, but it was my first time seeing it, and I immediately was like, "Oh my God, he peed his pants!"
Yeah.
Like, so I thought that
Well,
was very interesting. It was very like I don't know, like that would happen authentically, I think, in real life if something like that was going to happen to you. And
oh
so
yeah,
added
no,
added
definitely.
a bit of realism, I think, to the film in that way. And I think like I think it's funny how many people I thought the what are they, FBI agents?
Hmm.
Um, they were kind of funny
Yeah.
because he was like, that kid creeps me out, and then the other guy was like, you creep me out.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Well, this was originally written as a spec script for the X-Files. The guy who wrote it just kind of wrote it as a one-off. He wasn't assigned to do it. He wrote it himself to try to get an agent.
Oh
Um,
well.
and then when he wrote the script and got an agent, uh, but instead of submitting it to the X-Files, he acted on the suggestion of a colleague at New Line Cinema to write it as a feature film. And then when they got him to write it, so they bought it and they got him to write the original draft. In the original draft, the survivors were all adults.
Oh, okay.
But New Line had him change it to teenagers after the success of Scream. So see, like
Mm.
everybody was doing this whole
Yeah.
thing. Like it's like, okay, how can we make teenage horror movies? Like keep
Yeah.
turning out these things left and right to
Well,
um
because that was what Halloween was Halloween was she was in high school and then I think
in the original one,
yeah, in
yeah.
the
Laurie
original.
Strode was
Yeah.
was was a high schooler, yeah.
And then like the Friday the 13th films, they're in high school. And I think Nightmare on Elm Street, they're like
Well,
young.
the Nightmare on Elm Street was high schoolers. Friday the 13th, I believe they were all just young adults.
Oh, okay. Oh, because
Yeah.
they're like
They're the camp
counselors.
counselors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and so, but yeah, so I mean, it follows a formula for sure. But after Scream, everybody was just like doing all this stuff. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Final Destination, obviously, and then what else? The Urban Legends
Mhm.
movies. Those are set at college, so they were still kind of in that age range.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
even Blair Witch, because isn't Blair Witch in college?
yeah, yeah, Blair Witch was college students. Um, but yeah, so I mean, but it
Blair Witch is a
revived.
thing on its own, but
Yeah, yeah, but they revived Halloween with Halloween H2O to like
mhm.
add a Scream kind of twist to that, and so there was a lot of movies that came out in the wake of Scream that were set kind of like with at least youngish people, like even if they weren't high schoolers, they were college students or people in their young 20s and stuff, to capitalize on that young demographic.
Yeah.
Because they saw it as, oh hey, that one succeeded and some of these others are doing okay, let's keep going with that, which obviously wasn't a bad idea.
Yeah.
For all of these that happened, there were quite a few that succeeded. um so um but I think it's interesting too, because I think part of the X-Files connection happens because uh the writing partners James Wong and Glenn Morgan, they were writers on X-Files also.
Uh,
I think they sometimes directed. Um and then one of them ended up yeah, James Wong was the director, who co-wrote the screenplay with Glenn Morgan and Jeffrey Reddick, who was the original story
mm,
creator. Um so yeah, so it was, Um, so it kind of was around that whole idea of doing an X Files. X Files was huge back in the 90s. So it
Yeah.
was like, a big thing. And um, so they kind of just, you know, ran with that kind of thing. And I could see this being kind of a X Files-ish type of movie, um, or episode or whatever. Um, uh, but so it's interesting too, because because this doesn't have a physical person to as the killer. It's just like
Yeah.
death, like the, the embodiment of death. Um, so the writer years later admitted that not giving the franchise a physical antagonist was regrettable, stating, "Now every Halloween I go, we blew it. There's no costume to buy. There's no action
Mhm.
figure." So, I mean, obviously, New Line didn't have a problem with that. They've done multiple
Yeah.
sequels since, and even a new one, which helped kind of like re-energize um, um, attention and
Who needs a
fan.
Halloween costume to scare people when every time you're behind a log truck, you move to a different lane?
Right.
Like,
Well, and that's the thing too, is like
I know that's for the next movie, but
yeah,
still,
we'll
it's
talk about that in the next one. But yeah,
still
I
the most, I
mean,
feel like it's one of the most iconic
oh yeah.
things for Final Destination. For the advertising for Bloodlines, they had vans and trucks with log trucks like painted on the sides to get people
Yep.
freaked out. So,
Yeah. No, that's what's crazy. It's just like they played into it and did well. Like, and that's what I like about kind of the viral marketing going on these days is like really leaning into stuff like that. It's like when the first Smile movie came out and there
yeah.
were people at sporting events just
Yeah.
standing there
Yeah.
smiling in the
Yeah.
background. So like the cameras would pick them up and it was just like, okay, that's not good. So yeah, so it's just I love that. I love that they have all this kind of like fun
Yeah. It's almost
marketing.
flash mobby,
Yeah,
like
I mean kind of,
in
yeah.
some ways. Sorry. I kind of
No, you're
miss
fine.
flash mobs.
Well, I've actually seen people doing that. Not like
Huge
um
ones.
no, not like random people like joining up like, hey, we're gonna do a flash mob. Let's everybody dance together, blah blah blah. No, there's been some stuff where I just watched one that was about some people. It was in a mall, and
Always in a
suddenly
mall.
somebody's playing like one of the Star Wars themes,
Uh-huh.
and then some other people come in and they're playing it, and then these two guys start squaring off with lightsabers, and so then they have the whole fight, and then the tune changes to like the Duel of the Fates, and they actually have a choir in there, and so it's like this huge thing, and it's like I think that's cool. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of a like flash mob style
Yeah.
type of thing where you're just like you're engaging the people around and having
Yeah.
a fun little thing and it's just like, oh hey, that's what's fun. Like, I'm not much for going out these days, but if I were to go out, that'd be kind of a fun thing to run across.
Yeah.
So,
I'd be kind of like, oh my God. Like,
yeah. Like what is this? Oh, I gotta get out of here now.
I don't go anywhere with that many people though to warrant that something
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, we were recently at a mall, like not you, but I was recently at a mall. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
for
know.
Halloween because we went
Yeah. Spirit.
to go to Spirit Halloween store. And then so they had a bunch of cool stuff for that. Uh, it was nice to. I was actually surprised at how busy the mall was, like the actual mall was, because I thought
People are
malls were.
looking for third spaces. Like that's like
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
malls I
kind
think
of.
are being that for some people. So
Well, hopefully. I mean, it'd be nice for, some of that stuff. I mean, one of the anchor stores in that one was gone, and I think it's just going to be harder. I think what I've seen people do with malls is now, um, the malls have gotten, you can like this one was mostly regular malls, still had like all the same stores, you still had all your, um, your Spencers and your Hot Topic and everything, all that
yeah.
kind of stuff that was in there is like in the normal malls and stuff like that. But I've seen some malls where people are talking about like they get like very niche style stores in them now.
Yeah,
And they're more like
I've seen, yeah. I
yeah,
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's more of a cool like little, I don't know, like fair style, I guess, in a way, I guess, or more like a kind of like a convention, where each person, instead of having a booth, has their own store.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it reminds me of, is kind of like that kind of place. So, if they can survive and the malls can keep doing that and hopefully not charging them a crazy exorbitant rent and
Yeah.
everything, then hopefully those kind of spaces can survive a little bit
Yeah.
longer,
Just
and
gotta watch out for the escalators.
which we will get into in a future episode. Um, but yeah, so um, all right. Um, I don't know that there. I mean, we haven't really talked about the story too much. The story's interesting. Obviously, there's not much to tell. They obviously
Yeah.
escape, get off a plane before it crashes, and then they have to escape death the whole rest of the time. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. Um, but I do like appreciate, as I said, the death scenes aren't as complicated as they get in later installments, but I think they're really well done. Um, Especially like the one in the house. Um, that
Yeah.
explodes. I don't want to like, I don't want to spoil too much, I guess. But I guess, I mean, it's a 25-year-old movie, so the
Yeah, I don't think it
teacher's house.
matters.
Yeah, so the teacher's house, I thought that was really well done. That was a little bit more complicated. Um,
Yeah. Little more
Interesting.
Rube Goldberg
Yeah.
machine.
Yeah.
So
And then like later on, the whole thing with Clear, and her with the
yeah.
electric line and stuff like that. That was, I don't know that that was overly complicated, but that was definitely, very high stakes and
I don't know
stuff.
if
I
it was
thought,
complicated, but it was kind of convoluted.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like if you're gonna be doing a movie about this stuff, it's gotta be
yeah,
like kind of convoluted like that to fit the story. So
yeah. And I think it's just in general, I think it's
yeah.
just fun to like have that kind of, I don't know, that goofy,
Yeah. I
that
mean,
goofiness to it.
the Scream movies, for all intents and purposes, are kind of goofy because half the film when Ghostface is running around, he's falling over stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Like,
showing that he's actually a human person
yeah,
in these, instead of the supernatural killers like
like Michael
Jason and
Myers.
Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what's, with this, there's no stopping death. You can
Yeah.
hope to avoid him for as long as possible, but
Yeah.
eventually he's going to get you. Um, but yeah, I don't know. This movie's a lot of fun. I love that it sets up a lot of stuff. Gives us a new role for Tony Todd to chew through. It's not a big role for him. He pops up in a few of the others, including the last one. Um, but it's fun to see him when he pops up, because he's
Yeah.
always a welcome presence in the movies.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, it's just, in general, it's just, I don't know, it's fun. It sets up, I did like, it was something I noticed when it originally came out too, and it's something that, I told you about too, that
Hmm.
most of the people's names in this were based on um horror directors or producers or people who were in horror, like even actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like um uh Alex's last name is Browning, which is based on Todd Browning, and which is his friend's name was Todd, and Billy Hitchcock, and so their teacher is Val Luton, like Valerie Luton, and so there's lots of those kind of little nods, which
Little
I
ode to
appreciated.
horror.
Yeah, so I appreciate that as a fan. Like Agent Shrek was based on Max Shrek, who was the actor in the original Nosferatu. Um, so there's all those little nods that I liked. I appreciated as a horror fan. That uh you know horror fans tend to like those little Easter eggs. um yeah, but yeah, I don't know, it's just a fun movie. I think it's a good kickoff to a whole series. Is there anything that you wanted to mention that we haven't yet?
Um, can't think of anything right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we can go ahead and wrap up with that. I appreciate you coming on.
No
Why don't you
problem.
let people know where they can find you online? I think last time you told people your, it
Yeah, my
was, I think
Twitter.
your Twitter, but
Yeah.
I remembered that you've told people your letterbox before. So,
Oh
um,
yeah.
yeah,
My letterboxd is RCKMNKY, I think. So
yeah.
you
She's
can
not, s-
follow me there. I
yeah,
don't update everything. I barely
yeah.
do anything. But you can look at my four favorites and be confused. And you can also look at all of my ratings for the stuff that I have watched and be even more confused. So
Yeah, no, she's
I
definitely
work at the movies and I work with a few movie snobs and they look at my
yeah.
ratings and go, what the fuck? So yeah, you're able
Yeah,
to.
well, they can suck it, you know. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinions. Too funny.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's I think I don't remember what I rated, but I rated the recent Ant-Man movie pretty high. That's the one that gets people and Imaginary. So,
yeah, yeah.
but
No,
like I
I
said, I'm a very low maintenance movie watcher. So,
yeah, no, exactly. I think that's a good thing. I think that as long as it's entertaining to you and that you're enjoying it, then that's all that matters. You know, in the end, like who cares what other people are going to say? It's your own opinion. And, you know, you can like what you like and that's, you know, the what I have to say here is like I might not like what you like, you might not like what I like, but as long as we can agree that movies are fun and cool and you know, awesome to watch and talk about, then that's all we need. So, um, but all right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, especially last minute like this. It's always a pain, and I know you're busy with stuff, so always nice to get you on and talk to you about some
yeah.
stuff. And we'll definitely be seeing you again. Like I said in the last episode, we'll be seeing you again for the holiday episode.
Yep.
So,
Might come back
but
if people don't
I'm
end up
fingers crossed I have all the rest of this stuff for the rest of this year
all
battened
right.
down. So we'll see. I got to check on one other person still, and you know, double back with everybody else who said they're going to be on here. So we'll see what happens. But for now, I think I'm good. So, but I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.
All righty.
All right. Thanks for listening. Creepy and Geeky is produced and hosted by Robert Clark. If you like what you've heard, please consider giving the show 5 stars and a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and share the podcast on social media to help spread the word. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app or at creepyandgeeky.com. You can follow the podcast by going to creepyandgeeky.com and clicking on any of the social links. If you'd like to follow me, you can find my links at geekthulu.com. You can support the podcast by ordering teas and more on TeePublic or by donating to the coffee page. All of the links are in the show notes. Finally, don't forget, stay creepy.